All right, so you're ready to take the plunge, dive headfirst into this digital transformation thing, right? Especially when we're talking about SAP S4HANA implementation. It's a beast, but hey, we've got this success map to guide us. Think of it like, I don't know, a treasure map leading you straight to confident strategic growth. And it's all powered by those AI insights everyone's buzzing about. But here's the thing, and this is crucial. Each step on this map, well, kind of builds on the one before it. You miss one, it's like a domino effect. The whole thing could just poof.
Yeah, it's all interconnected. You can't just pick and choose what seems easy or fun. Those gaps, those missteps, they can really mess things up down the line.
Okay, so let's break it down a bit. We've got tune in, set targets, and crystallize strategy as our first three stops on this journey. Let's say we totally miss that first step. Tune in, what happens then?
Tune in. It's like, imagine building a house, right? You got to make sure the foundation is solid. If you skip that part, the whole thing's going to be shaky. In the digital world, tune in means doing a deep dive, an AI-powered readiness assessment. It's like giving your business a full body scan using AI to spot all those hidden opportunities and those little cracks in the foundation.
Like X-ray vision for your business, that's good.
Exactly. You skip this step, you're basically setting yourself up for failure right from the start. You could be heading in the wrong direction, focusing on the wrong stuff, or missing crucial areas.
Yeah, the source material really hammers this home. They even have this call to action that says, take the first step in our AI-powered S4HANA strategy success assessment. They're serious about this.
Yeah, it's not just checking a box. It's about making sure you're set up for success, understanding your strengths, your weaknesses, where you can improve. And this is where AI really shines. It can crunch all that data, find those hidden opportunities, and help you avoid making those expensive mistakes down the line.
All right, so we've tuned in, we've got our X-ray vision on, we're ready for the next step. Set targets. Why is this one so important?
Set targets. It's all about clarity, making sure everyone knows what success actually looks like. What are you aiming for? How will you measure progress? And are these goals aligned with your overall business strategy?
Yeah, the source material is super clear on this. Skipping this step, they say, it's like a recipe for disaster. It leads to goal misalignment, unrealistic expectations, and a lack of measurability.
You got it. Without clear targets, those AI-validated targets, it's like wandering around in the dark. You might be busy, you might even be making progress, but are you heading in the right direction? That's the question.
Reminds me of this project I was working on a while back. We were so focused on just getting things done. We never stopped to ask, are we working on the right things? We ended up putting a ton of effort into something that, in the end, didn't really matter.
Yeah, classic example of how ignoring set targets can just waste time, effort, and money. That's another area where AI is really powerful. It can help you set targets that are ambitious, but still realistic, based on real data.
Okay, so we're tuned in. We've got our targets set. What's next?
Crystallize strategy. That's the bridge between your big vision and actually making it happen. It's about turning those high-level goals into a concrete plan, your roadmap, your approach, your target operating model.
And I'm guessing skipping this one can also lead to some interesting situations.
Absolutely. The source material calls it complexity paralysis and the execution gap. You can get stuck overthinking everything, debating forever without making any progress, or you just rush into execution without a plan, and that's just chaos.
Like trying to build a skyscraper without blueprints, right?
Yeah.
All the materials, the best crew, but no plan. Recipe for disaster.
Exactly. A well-defined strategy, that's the backbone of your whole transformation. It gives you clarity, alignment, a roadmap for everyone to follow. And that's where failing to crystallize strategy can really hurt. Without a clear target operating model, everyone's kind of just doing their own thing, and that's not good.
I'm seeing the domino effect here. We tune in, we're misaligned from the get-go. No clear targets, we're working hard, but not smart. And without a crystallized strategy, we're basically trying to build a house of cards.
Right, and remember, all these steps are connected. Gaps in one area can impact everything.
So what can executives do to avoid these gaps and make sure their transformation stays on track?
That's where the OTO process comes in, opportunity to operations. It's a structured way to find opportunities, turn them into real changes, and keep optimizing to get the most value. It's about bridging the gap between strategy and execution, making sure transformation isn't just a one-time thing, but a continuous process.
And where does AI fit into this O2O process?
AI, it's like the secret ingredient that makes the O2O process really hum. It gives you those data-driven insights, predictive analytics, and automation that help you make smarter decisions, optimize your processes, and get better outcomes.
So AI is more than just a tool. It's like a strategic partner.
Exactly. It's about using AI to make human intelligence even better, not replace it.
And what about business GPS AI? Where does that fit in?
Business GPS AI, it's a real-world example of how AI can drive successful transformations. It's a comprehensive framework with 36 steps across strategy, portfolio alignment, execution, and operations. It fills in those gaps that traditional consulting often misses, making sure everyone's accountable, minimizing risk, and maximizing value.
So it's like having a GPS for your business,
Right.
guiding you through every twist and turn of this transformation journey.
That's a great way to put it. And it's especially helpful for those smaller businesses that might not have the same resources as the big guys. Business GPS AI levels the playing field, giving them the power of AI to drive growth and innovation.
That's amazing. It sounds like AI is giving everyone access to these powerful tools. Even the little guys can compete now.
Exactly. It's a real game changer. AI is becoming more accessible and affordable, so any organization can unlock their full potential.
This is fascinating stuff. We've covered a lot of ground, but there's still so much to explore. What's up next?
In the next part, we'll move from theory to practice. We'll talk about how to build those transformation capabilities, put together your team of change champions, and create a culture that embraces change.
Sounds like we're getting to the nitty-gritty of actually making this transformation happen. Can't wait.
It's going to be a wild ride. All right, welcome back. We just talked about those first few steps: tune in, set targets, crystallize strategy, making sure we start off strong, right? Now let's shift gears a bit and dive into the next phase of this success map. It's all about building up those capabilities, the things you need to actually make this transformation happen.
Okay, so we've got a roadmap. We know where we're headed. No more wandering around aimlessly. But how do we actually get there? Where do we even start?
Step 4, engineer adaptive platform. That's where we begin. Think of it like building the engine that's going to power your whole transformation.
Makes sense. You can have the best roadmap in the world, but if you're driving a clunker, you're not going to get very far.
Exactly. And in this case, that engine, a lot of times, it's your SAP S4HANA implementation. But it's not just about the tech itself. It's got to be adaptable, scalable, really aligned with your overall vision.
Yeah, the source material talks about the dangers of technology strategy misalignment. What happens when your tech and your goals aren't on the same page?
Imagine trying to build a house on a foundation of sand. It's just not going to work. Same thing here. If your technology isn't supporting your strategy, you're going to run into problems. Inefficiencies, bottlenecks, you name it. You won't get those big results you're looking for.
So how do you avoid that? How do you make sure your technology is actually adaptive?
Start by taking a good look at what you've got, your current tech landscape. Understand your systems, what they can do, where they might be holding you back. Remember that AI-powered readiness assessment we talked about in Tune In? That can be super helpful here. It can give you some insights into which areas might need an upgrade.
I kept seeing this phrase in the material, legacy system inertia.
Yeah.
What's that even mean?
Legacy systems. Think of them like that old furniture you can't seem to get rid of,
Yeah.
Might have been great once, but now it's just taking up space, making it hard to move around.
So are we talking about a complete tech overhaul then? Scrap everything and start over?
Not necessarily. There are ways to modernize those legacy systems. Move them to the cloud, integrate them with newer stuff, maybe even find ways to streamline how they work. It's about finding that sweet spot between cost, risk, and agility.
Okay, so we've got our adaptive platform in place, our engine's running smooth. What's next?
Time to assemble the crew. Step 5, assemble change champions. This is where the people part comes in.
I was wondering when we'd get to the humans. You can have the fanciest tech, but if your people aren't on board, you're not going anywhere.
You got it. This step is all about finding those people in your organization, the ones who are going to champion this change. They're the ones who drive adoption, get everyone excited, and create a culture where innovation can thrive.
The material mentions finding hidden talent. Are we talking about, like, secret agents of transformation hidden deep within the organization?
Not quite that dramatic. But yeah, change champions, they're not always the folks at the top. You can find them at all levels. They're the ones with the passion, the vision, the ability to inspire others and make things happen.
So how do you find these change champions? Are there any, secret handshakes or something?
No secret handshakes, but it does take a bit of a shift in how you think. Look beyond those traditional hierarchies. See people for their potential to lead change, Their communication skills, their ability to inspire, how well they understand the business.
And I'm guessing AI can help us out here too, right? Can it help us spot those hidden gems?
Absolutely. AI can analyze data, find patterns, and point out individuals who might be perfect change champions, even if they haven't been formally recognized as leaders.
Okay, we've got our crew assembled, our change champions are ready to rock. What's next on the list?
Step 6, optimize change strategy. This is where we fine-tune how we're going to manage all the changes that come with this transformation.
So it's not just about having a plan, it's about having the best possible plan and always tweaking it as we go.
You got it. Your change strategy, it's got to be aligned with your goals, adaptable to surprises, and most importantly, it needs to consider the human factor.
One phrase that really stuck with me from the source material was adaptive strategy deficit. What's that all about?
Think about it like sailing. A good sailor knows how to adjust the sails when the wind changes, right? A lot of organizations struggle with this. They get stuck on a plan that's no longer working.
So how can companies become more like those skilled sailors? The ones who can navigate those choppy waters of change.
Takes a willingness to be flexible, get feedback, learn from mistakes, and make adjustments along the way. It's about being agile, understanding that change is constant. It's not a one-time thing.
Okay, so we built our platform, assembled our change champions, and fine-tuned our strategy for dealing with all the twists and turns. What's next?
Step 7. It's a reminder that transformation, it's a journey, not just a destination. It's about staying on course, making sure we're headed in the right direction.
I like that it's not about checking boxes, it's about constantly moving forward, always evolving.
Exactly, and that's where Calibrate Journey comes in, making sure our transformation is on track, aligned with our goals, and actually delivering that value we set out to achieve.
The source material talks about something called transformation drift. Is that kind of like mission creep where things start to veer off course?
Good analogy. Transformation drift, it's what happens when those initiatives lose focus. They drift away from those initial goals, get lost in the weeds.
So how do we avoid drifting? How do we keep this transformation journey on course?
It's all about monitoring, evaluating, adjusting. Regularly check your progress, get feedback from everyone involved, and be ready to make changes when you need to.
So like navigating a ship, you're always adjusting your course to account for the wind and currents.
Exactly. And just like a ship's navigation system, AI can be incredibly helpful here. Gives you those real-time insights, helps you identify roadblocks, and even suggests course corrections.
Okay, so we've calibrated our journey, we're making good time, staying on course. What's next?
Now it's time to get into the details. Step 8, craft approach. This is where we go from strategy to action, developing that detailed plan of execution.
This is where things get real, right? Turning those big ideas into concrete steps.
Exactly. Craft approach is all about defining those specific activities, timelines, resources, who's responsible for what, all that good stuff.
The source material talks about a precision engineered approach. What does that mean exactly?
It means your plan. It can't just be a rough sketch. It's got to be meticulous, well thought out, perfectly aligned with your overall strategy. No room for guesswork here.
So how do companies make sure their approach is truly precision engineered? Are we talking like spreadsheets galore?
Spreadsheets might be involved, but it's more about collaboration. Bring everyone together, share their expertise, make sure all perspectives are considered. And yeah, AI can play a role here too. Help you analyze data, model different scenarios, and optimize your plan for maximum impact.
Okay, so we've crafted our approach, we've got our blueprints, our tools, our team, we're ready to launch. What's the final step?
Step 9, launch mission. This is where we put it all into action, light the fuse, officially kick off the transformation journey.
Showtime.
It's all about communicating the vision, getting everyone excited, and setting the stage for success.
The source material talks about generating momentum. Why is that so important at this stage?
A strong launch, it creates energy, enthusiasm, motivates people to get on board and give it their all. It's about building momentum that'll carry you through those tough spots and keep you moving forward.
So how do companies make sure their mission launch is a success? Any tips for making it a memorable liftoff?
Communication is key. Strong leadership is essential, and celebrating those early wins, that's crucial. Paint a picture of the future, show everyone how this transformation will benefit them, and recognize those who embrace the change.
It sounds like this step is as much about psychology as it is about logistics.
You're absolutely right. Transformation, it's a human endeavor at its core. Success depends on engaging hearts and minds, not just implementing systems and processes.
So we've reached the end of our success map journey. We've tuned in, set targets, crystallized our strategy, built our platform, assembled our crew of change champions, optimized our approach, calibrated our journey, crafted a precision-engineered plan, and finally launched our mission. What happens now? What does success look like at this point?
That's a great question, and it's one we'll explore in the next part. We'll dive into this concept of value delivery, talk about how to measure the success of your transformation, and the importance of continuous improvement. It's not over yet. The journey continues.
Welcome back to our deep dive, into this success map for AI-led SAP S4HANA transformations. We've been through a lot, all 9 steps, from tune-in all the way to launch mission. Now let's talk about what comes after that launch. What's next?
It feels like we've climbed this mountain, and now we're at the top. What's the view like from here? What do we see?
From here, it's all about value delivery. Remember, the whole point of all this whole transformation journey, is to actually see results, those tangible business outcomes.
Right, right. It's not just about the tech itself. It's about making a real difference in the business.
Exactly. And that's where this opportunity to operations framework really comes in. It reminds us that transformation isn't a one-time thing, it's a cycle. Spotting opportunities, turning them into real changes, and always fine-tuning, making sure you're getting the most value.
So it's like a flywheel, always spinning, always building momentum, driving improvement and growth.
That's a great way to put it. But it brings up a good question. How do we actually measure this value delivery? How do we know if it's actually working?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question.
Yeah,
We need to be able to track our progress, prove that this whole thing was worth it.
absolutely. And it requires a bit of a mindset shift. You see, traditional consulting, it often focused on just finishing the project on time and within budget. But with these AI-powered transformations, it's all about those business outcomes.
So instead of asking, did we finish on time, we're asking, did it actually make a difference?
Exactly. And those desired outcomes, well, they depend on your goals, right? Could be increased revenue, lower costs, happier customers, getting products to market faster, or even just becoming more agile and innovative.
Okay, but how do we actually measure those outcomes? What are we looking at?
It depends on what you're trying to achieve, but generally you want to focus on those metrics that are directly tied to your goals. So if you want to increase revenue, you might track sales growth, customer acquisition rate, or average deal size, things like that.
And AI can help us with this measurement stuff too, right?
Absolutely. AI can pull in data from all over the place, analyze it, find those trends and patterns, those insights that we might miss. It can also help you track your progress, see how you're doing against those targets, and make adjustments as you go.
Okay, so we've launched our mission, we're delivering value, we're keeping an eye on our progress. What's next?
Remember, opportunity to operations. It's a cycle. Once you've hit those initial goals, it's time to start looking for new opportunities.
So always improving, always striving to be better, never settling.
Exactly. And AI can be right there with you, helping you spot those emerging trends, anticipate challenges, and adapt to whatever comes your way.
It really sounds like AI is more than just a tool. It's like a partner in this whole transformation journey.
I like that, a partner. AI helps us be more strategic, more agile, more data-driven in everything we do.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are some key takeaways for our listeners? What should they be thinking about as they start their own transformation journeys?
I think there are 3 big things to remember. First, transformation is a journey, not a destination. It's ongoing. It's about adapting and evolving.
Second, AI isn't just a technology, it's a way of thinking. It's about embracing data, being agile, and always looking for ways to improve.
And third, don't be afraid to challenge the status quo. The future belongs to those who embrace change, experiment, and innovate.
So, thinking about your own organization, where are those opportunities? What steps can you take today to start using AI to achieve those big goals?
Remember, this success map, it's a guide. Your journey will be unique. But by embracing these principles, this AI-led transformation, you can navigate this crazy digital world with confidence and achieve some amazing things.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Success Map. We hope you found it helpful and maybe even a little inspiring. And don't forget to subscribe to the deep dive for more explorations of all sorts of fascinating topics. Until next time.